Our first post is from Superb Raccoon. Take my ID and tell me, what am I going to do about it? Okay. So when I was a wee Superb Raccoon, but still superb, I was in the Navy. Recently 21, we decided to go to a bar that had a decent local cover band. So we show up and I present my ID. Grant you, clean cut and close shaven, I did not look 21. But my out of state ID was no good and all I had was my military ID. Doorman decides he can F with me. This is fake. I'm keeping it. My eyes bugged out. Dude, that is a military ID. Give it back. Nope. Mine no. $20 or F off. I can't get back on a base without it, I said. Then you better cough up $20 or F off. Oh, I see. This is a shakedown. F off, huh? Okay. Cue malicious compliance. Buddy who drove us and used state ID drove us back. We got into the office of the day officer to report my lost/stolen ID. OOD is a crusty old man, but fair. Actually a Mustang. He takes orders from the president and God, and we're not sure of the president. He might tell him to F off, but it's a stupid idea. He listens. My buddy backs up my story, his eyes narrow in an evil, evil way. Chief, can you come up here? I got a present for you. I started to shake a little. Am I headed for a few days in the brig for losing my ID? Dang, there goes my chance to bump up to E4. Up here says the doorman at Joe's took his ID and wants $20. Pull a driver and one of those jarheads at the gate and go down there and sort it out. Chief looks at me like fresh meat. Come on, you two. We're going for a ride. So we all pile in the van with a couple of Marines and BDU and sidearms. It is quiet on the way there. Chief did not look too happy. Can't believe I have to deal with this stuff. Well, at least I don't have to sit at a desk all night. So we roll up. Place is pretty packed. Doorman don't look so tough as Chief stalks up to him like a storm cloud spitting lightning and two armed Marines flanking him. I am hanging back. LP, this the guy with your ID? Yes, Chief. Chief gets up toe-to-toe with him. Chief is short and wide, but is built like a brick wall. Gym muscle doorman takes a step back, but dude has nowhere to go in the little entryway. Give me his ID now, or I will start looking for it myself. ID is produced, handed to me. Doorman ignored. Chief pulls the door open, looks at the room, motions for the Marines to make a hold of the bar, make it wide. They do so, calmly shouting to move people out of the way as the music and talk dies down. Chief grabs a chair, stands on it, then uses his parade ground voice. All active duty members, this site is now on a prohibited list. Pay your tab and get out. He gets down, walks out with the Marines tailing him, and half the bar follows them out. Very few are active duty this far from base, but many are reserved or retired. They don't like this stuff either. Place went on the list and was still there when I transferred out 6 or so months later. Yep, I effed off, hard and fast. My next post is from a wise cobbler. Director told me I had to prove myself for a promotion, so I proved myself to another company for a 25% base pay increase and double the bonus. So 8+ years ago, I used to work as a business analyst for a large multinational construction materials company. I was a good employee. They were a great employer. I had been given 2 promotions in my time there and been moved to several domains in the IT department. I learned a lot. A role came up to be a senior business analyst with a new domain, and for various reasons, I was denied the promotion. Not a big deal. I understood the reasons. I really did. I wasn't better. A deserving external candidate 100% got the promotion. I was still given the opportunity to work in that domain. Great learning opportunity. A few successful projects later in the new domain, I asked if I could be organically promoted to a senior business analyst. And by successful delivery, I mean my business partner going to another director in IT who had a stake in the domain. Where has he been all my life? So I had definitely done good, if not great. My manager spoke with my director, and the response was, well, he still needs to prove himself. I had a laugh. Don't get me wrong again. My director was a great guy. He, after all, did promote me twice and gave me the opportunity to learn all the various new domains of the business. Nothing against him. The explanation just pissed me off. I would have been satisfied with, there's no budget this year, or I don't think I'll get approval for an in place promotion. HR was one of the domains I supported, so I know how things go. So I kept learning the new domain and started applying for various jobs outside the company. Took a few months, but one role finally clicked. My current job, I was making $88K a year plus a 15% bonus paid annually. The new job was offering $110K a year plus a 30% bonus paid quarterly. Director wanted me to prove myself. I just proved my worth to another company. Got a 22K raise on my base and doubled my bonus percentage. My manager then comes and asks me, so was there anything we could have done to keep you, like make you a senior? Well, I only started looking because they said no to being promoted. Otherwise, I was and am still happy here. The money is hard to turn down, though. In hindsight, I'm glad they denied me the promotion. I would have never left that company otherwise and not been on my current career trajectory. Lila Valentine down in the comments says, my first accounting job, after 3 years, my boss says he's not going to give me a raise this year because I haven't done enough to bring in business for the company. Excuse me? I'm the accountant. You must be thinking about the marketing guy. Remember him? The one who doesn't have experience, but he's great at racquetball, so he can learn. So, go F yourself. I will go get a 33% raise somewhere else. Sucks to be you. Man, that dude was a dick. Probably still is one. One day, I'll write a book and call it The Massaging Misogynist. Our next post is by Actually Miss. Same punishment for being 5 minutes late as being 3 hours late? Sure, no problem. So I'm working for a low-level corporation, about 450 employees. I've been there for 5 years and have risen to the top of my department's productivity levels. I mention this as it does pertain to the story. Management had a policy that latecomers would be penalized, but the lateness could be excused under some circumstances. I was good at my job, and I actually loved doing it, so I was more or less a dream employee. I always showed up to my work 20 or 30 minutes early because I like to sit down in the lunchroom and prepare for my day. Management knew I was almost always early, so if I was late from time to time, and such instances were rare, they'd let it slide, and there was always a valid reason. Now, for some other employees, this latitude wasn't applied. Chronically late employees would get written up and not have their constant lateness excused. They'd complain, of course, but management was firm. They ran an actual meritocracy, where more productive employees would experience preferential treatment. Then, business gets sold and we get new management, an international corporation only interested in buying us up, stripping us down and selling off the company. Of course, but the fact that over the next 2 years they stripped us down and sold off the company proved they were lying. New management comes in and has to make a bunch of idiotic changes. One of those changes is that no reason for being late are accepted, regardless of validity. Anyone 5+ minutes late for work would be written up. So at the team meeting where this was explained, I asked, so if someone is 5 minutes late and someone else is 30 minutes late, the punishment is the same? And they said yes. From that day on, I stopped coming in early. I'd still head to work at my usual time, but I sat in the local coffee shop instead of my work's lunchroom. This meant that my work missed out because in the past I would often help out by answering questions, even start to work early if I needed, because I loved my job and the old management were wonderful bosses. No more of that under new management. In fact, if something happened, like unexpectedly bad traffic, and I was going to end up being a few minutes late, I'd just say, F it. If being 3 hours late is the same punishment as 5 minutes late, I'd just decide to come in later. I'd call work to tell them I was going to be delayed, then go out and have a leisurely meal in a restaurant. Or run some personal errands, go shopping, even see a movie, etc. Depending on my mood and how crappy the new management had been lately, what would have been, say, a 7-minute lateness on my part would end up seeing me roll in 3 hours late. Sure, It cost me a few bucks, but I made almost as much in bonuses as I did in hourly salary. So missing out on a few hours here and there didn't bother me too much. I'd come in 3 or 4 hours late and my new bosses would be fuming. Nothing they could do though but write me up for the basic tardy, same as they would have if I was 5 minutes late. That's just sort of the norm, isn't it? On all these Reddit stories. Everything's working fine. Some new guy walks in, ruins everything. Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in to another Reddit video. If you would like to, click another video. And if you would be so kind to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.